Start of the podcast version 2.0. Moo has decided
3.0.
to. Oh, 3.0, yes. Moo has decided to grace us with his presence as he quickly stands up and leaves. So.
Changing my light, you animals.
Okay, well, Moo, I'm sorry for. I just want to lead off by saying before the podcast, I watched Moo, losing the off lane, and I flamed him a bit. And let's be honest, he had Rodeo supporting him, position 4, Doombringer. And it wasn't fair to him because he's already in this super tilting scenario. And I kind of just kicked him while he's down. So, Moo, I'd like to start off with an apology. Can you accept that from me, buddy?
Sure.
Okay. Very, very wholesome start as he sounds very genuine about his acceptance of
You should have declined the apology. Make him work for it, Moo.
That'd be awkward. I won that game. So.
You won that game?
Yeah, I won that game.
Wow. I definitely would have lost that game, so, Flames turned back on me. So, Moo, we brought you in because we were going to talk about some politics. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, he actually specifically said he wasn't going to talk about politics. So, joke number 1, BSJ in the books. So, we do have the new patch coming out about a week and a half is what we have to guess on that. So, Leading things off, Moo, last time Monkeys and I talked about our hopes for the new patch. Is there like one thing you can give us? New hero hopes, dreams? What are you going to do when it comes out, etc.?
I got almost nothing. I just hope they nerf the carries, so I stop getting one-shotted.
Are you very bored of getting one-shotted by a PA you can't see and a Sven that jumps you from 2,000 range?
I'm not really bored, it's just old.
It's just old? I see.
Yeah, there's been more boring patches.
So you don't actually hate this patch that much, it's just the fact that it's been out for so long?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
there's been worse patches.
I feel like that's just Dota in general. Every single patch, no matter how good it is, it just gets stale after a while. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why Dota stays so fresh and fun, is because it becomes like a new game every single patch.
Yeah, so what I was going to say to Monkeys here was that my pubs this week have been particularly terrible. And I'm curious if you guys have had some similar experiences. Like, do you guys feel like the rest of the High MMR group has kind of just said, I don't care whether or not I win or lose, I'm just going to play Dota? Do you guys feel like that's happened in like the last week or two? Or are you guys having different experiences here?
I feel like no one's queuing. That's really all it is.
Is that just because... So you're saying that the game quality is lower just because the good players are not queuing?
Yeah. That's generally how it goes, right? There's not a lot of players in it, eh?
Dude, Moo, you gotta give me something spicy. You gotta now you gotta turn that into like flaming the other people.
No, I don't blame them. Like, you don't really get much from pubs once you've learned the patch. It's just like it's kind of boring. If you just force yourself to play, it's not really that fun, and like you'll just lose. So what's the point?
I see. So, what you're telling people, I'm interpreting your words for them here, is as a professional player, second place TI, Chaos, you're saying pubs for you are what help you learn the meta and get to experiment with heroes. And now that the meta has been established, pubs are quite boring. Would that
No,
be
I mean, I don't find them that boring. I wish they were better, but like, there's not much to do about it. Like, they're never going to be like competitive matches or anything, right? Even in Europe or any region. Like, sometimes they're just bad.
I see. So when you're playing pubs, then, like, will you play more when the new patch comes out? What's like a new approach? Like, what's the approach you take when a new patch comes out? Do you like come up with 3 or 4 heroes you think you're gonna play, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, probably just try heroes. I'll play the regular amount. I already play like a lot of Dota.
Are you the type of guy that picks the new hero like a bajillion times?
No, I don't usually pick a new hero.
That's me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Monkeys is definitely that kind of guy. So my question is, Monkeys, if you had to give me like a less than 1 paragraph answer, what are the key characteristics of a person that picks the hero that just got released and spams them?
I just like learning new things in Dota, and the easiest way to learn new things in Dota is a new hero. usually,
So like,
in my opinion.
here's my qualm here, Moo, and you gotta talk. I gotta like resort to the third party here. Is that when I'm talking to Gunner, all I try to do is tilt him because he seems like the untiltable type of guy. And whenever I talk to monkeys, I try to make him not be wholesome because he's just always wholesome. And so,
Yeah.
how do you break this barrier? Like, I ask him about like a new hero. I'm asking him like what is a characteristic that defines that person. He just said, "I love to learn, man. I just love to learn." What do I do with that, Moo? What do I do with that?
I don't know if he loves to learn. I think he just plays the new hero because it's new and fun. Usually the new heroes are like kind of broken, so pretty fun.
So it's fun to win. So monkeys is actually just a try-hard shitter that loves winning and will do whatever it takes.
I wouldn't say he's a try-hard shitter that loves winning and does whatever it takes. I'd say Dota sucks to lose more than it's fun to win.
I see.
All the games are like stomps. Like it's just you know who's gonna win usually by like 20 minutes. Like you can just feel it. You're gonna win or lose the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe even earlier. Maybe like 15 minutes.
I would say 15 minutes typically. You usually can tell the tempo of the game by the 15-minute sieges just by how each team reacts to them. In my opinion, at least.
The next 15 minutes is just like it doesn't even matter.
You just go through the motions. You're just like, well, you know.
That's probably the boring part of pubs.
We won the 15-minute team fight. I know what's gonna happen in this game now.
So my question is, if you're talking about like the 15 minutes of pubs that's boring and such, like, what do you mentally do to like prepare for that part of the game? Like, how do you go through your days just knowing like 3 hours a day is just you waiting for the game to end? You know?
Well, it's not like that simple. You still have to do the right things to win the game. It's just like it's nothing new. Like when you're winning the game and like your draft is better than theirs, it's you just do the disciplined things that you know to do. Just win. Like pretty simple. Like you take Roche, then you just farm with Aegis, and usually by second Roche you win. So a lot of the pubs, like when you're winning, is just farming the map for like a 10k gold lead before you can actually push, right? So
it's because breaking high ground is so hard right now. Oh my god, everyone just farms until they can't lose the game. Which I mean, like, you know, it's what you have to do, but it does not make for very interesting Dota anymore.
There was like a match in China where they had like 130k gold lead or something.
I think it was 150. I think that was like the new record.
Oh yeah, the record.
So when you have a new patch come out, Moo, do you think that makes games take longer or shorter on average? Because like there's the argument that because nobody knows what to do to come back, then the game will just snowball out of control. Or like there's the argument that the team that has to win maybe doesn't know the exact recipe yet, so they throw a couple times. What would you say?
I'd say if there's any like building changes, like shrines are moved or removed, or any economy changes, then usually the games take a little bit longer. But if those don't change and it's just heroes, it's generally the same length.
I think they need to nerf jungle gold a bit again. I feel like jungle gives a shit ton of money right now, especially with all the stacking gold and everything, or stacking bonuses.
So something about, you know, PA buying Battle Fury and Sven being two of the best carries in the game, that's what maybe gets you to that realization there, monkeys?
Maybe a little bit.
Getting to see those heroes every single game? Super fun stuff. Super fun stuff. I've been experimenting with random heroes such as Mag and Viper. That's been my way to cope. So, like, when you guys are playing pubs, I've seen you do Void Spear Lesh, monkeys. I've been seeing you do Spear Breaker Moo. Are you just role-playing Moo, or what's the deal?
No, it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's that simple. It's just fun.
That's the only reason I pick Void Spirit Lesh. It's just fun to play the heroes. Like
I don't know if the hero is like that good and competitive. I've tried it in some scrims. It's pretty whatever, but like pubs, it's good enough to just own. So
I feel like that's such a good mentality to have when you're playing pubs. It's just like play the shit you enjoy. Like I don't know. Dota is already such a insufferable game half the time. Like, as long as you're just doing something you enjoy in pubs, I feel like you're already winning. So
for all the 12-year-old kids out there that are really looking up to pick a video game to be their career move, and they're just looking to dive deep, what are you gonna sell them on to get into Dota, monkeys?
You know, just dream of the day Sumail flames you, because That's an exciting.
I've been flamed by Sumail a lot. Does that make me relevant or what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
You've made it if Sumail flames you.
I feel like our opinions on pubs are a little skewed for the rest of the population.
That is very true.
Is that because you've just become cynical over time, or
that was literally the word I was gonna use? I think I'm too cynical right now for Dota.
I mean, we're just like in the top like 0.1% or something of players, at least in NA. So it's like our opinions are a little bit different. Like I can play Spirit Breaker and win. That's because like I know how to play the game, but I wouldn't recommend other people who are trying to like learn to play this hero. I don't think it's like the right hero to learn the game or anything or play.
So are you implying you're just better than everyone else?
No, I'd say I'm better than most people that play pubs.
I see. I mean, you are actually better than everyone else, so I was just kind of seeing if you were like willing to follow that narrative.
That's like a really cocky thing to say. I don't think that's true.
So like all the viewers watching, you think any of them are better than you?
No, probably not. I don't know, man. Like, that's what you want to hear.
I'm honestly just trying to like provoke an emotional response out of you. That's all I'm trying to do, and you are remaining even keeled the entire time. So I don't know how you pull that shit off, but maybe that's the secret of pubs.
You also say that you don't think people should like pick Spirit Breaker or whatever because you do it, but I do think there is some merit in like, you know, Spirit Breaker is a good hero that runs around the map and like, you know, is able to make a lot of early rotation and stuff. So like it's definitely a hero that like you can get used to the play style of like, you know, moving around a lot, right? Like a Slardar, you can kind of do that too, you know. 2 points in sprint, just run around at level 6. That's a Moose special. I learned that one from you as well, actually.
I just played a bunch of games where I literally had no stuns, so I started picking Spirit Breaker every game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Spirit
Breaker is a good solution for that one.
Yeah, it's fixed a lot of problems.
So if you guys had to say the role in your games where the player is on average the least competent this patch, what would it be?
The role?
Yeah, like if you consistently said my 5, my 4, my 3, my 2, or my 1 is the most incompetent player on my team, who is it?
I would probably say my 1.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Moo?
I mean, I don't really get a lot of high MR 1s on my team as of late, though. So.
I feel like 1 is like kind of hard to play right now. So I mean, even though the heroes are easy and like the heroes are simple, but the game is not simple for a 1 position.
I mean, the issue with 1 right now is if you die like 1 or 2 times in a bad way, like
game's just over.
Yeah, you literally just lose. Like
yeah, I think 1 is like one of those deceptive roles where you look really good or you look really shit. There's like no in between.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's really true. I never really thought about it, but the 1 death itself, it makes the game so unrecognizably hard right now. I think it's because like everyone accelerates so fast, right? So
you literally lose all of your map control, all of your map presence, because your 1 hero that has the highest net worth and isn't supposed to be dead is dead, and then you just like I don't know, you start to get trapped, and then people start chain feeding, and then
you just fall behind.
Yeah,
like it's not really like the death matters. It's like you spend like the next 2 minutes you miss out on farming all those camps and lanes and stuff with your Battle Fury or whatever. Like, if you buy a farming item and you die, like game feels really hard.
Yeah.
So predictions. I feel like every patch there's like 1 role that gets the most farm or like the most impact in the game, and I feel like this patch, I think you guys can agree it's probably the 1, right, that has the most impact on the game. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Who do you guys think it's going to be for the next one? What's your predictions?
We already had this discussion last podcast, VSJ.
Well,
we said mid.
Didn't. So I'm asking him.
It's usually going to be mid.
You think that's the cycle, though? Because we have the 3 positions some patches.
I would still say mid, honestly, probably has more impact than the 1 for a majority of the game.
And then there's in this current patch, you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, in most patches, that's how it works. And then, like, the 1 post, like, 15, 20 minutes is the one who takes over. But the mid, like, is the one who does everything before that.
I definitely would agree that this patch it is more mid-oriented because like you see a lot of if you're watching competitive Dota, you see a lot of teams bring a lot of heroes middle by like 8 or 9 minutes or for the 10-minute sieges or whatever. But I do think last patch off lane was kind of like the pseudo mid that you know the off lane would always dumpster the matchup against the carry and then be able to run around by 6 or 7 minutes into the game and just make infinite space, but obviously off lane got kind of dumpstered when like the creep cutting and everything got completely stopped.
So what would you guys say, like, on a scale of like 0 to 100, where 100 means the off lane is incredibly favored and 0 is the safe lane's incredibly favored? Where would you say the lane's at right now? Because we're all like off lane / side lane players. So, what do you guys think?
I'd say in pubs and competitive off lane, or like the off lane, you usually can pick the carry out, but the carries are also playing to like lose. Like they're playing in a way that they know they're gonna like lose their lane, so they like go no boots farming item, right? Like no boost mask or gloves of haste, so they can jungle. Because offliners are incredibly strong, so that's why like these Battle Fury carries are showing up. It's better to just let them do their thing, like let them hit their power spike, than to try to contest them. Because you're not gonna like win. You're not gonna win versus that level 6 Slaughter or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and also a lot of the carries right now, like they're literally just aiming to jungle like pretty much as fast as possible. So like a lot of the lanes for offlaners is like as they're hitting their power spike, you're not even laning against a carry anymore. So like you're actually kind of sad about it because you're like, I want to be dumpstering this guy, but he's just farming his entire side of the map in the jungle, and I can't do anything about it.
I mean, it's just because the lane dominating carries just like are bad.
Yeah,
like
they really
Ursa,
are.
like Ursa, like Ursa sucks. Clinks, like these heroes don't win their lane. So like, what's the point of picking them?
Yeah.
So like, you're better off just picking the hero that is gonna show up in like the 20-minute mark or whatever with 3 items.
And one shots everyone.
Yeah, and one shots. Like, have you ever seen a troll like lose its lane? Like, it's completely useless for the rest of the game.
No, I've never seen a troll lose his lane before.
Well, usually it's last pick, but if it's not last pick, the troll plays against hero and then.
I just had the luxury of playing with Eternal Envy Troll. And it was, remember our game together, Moo, where I was playing Troll?
Yeah.
And you remember...
You didn't lose your lane, though, so, like, it was playable.
Yeah, so what happened was I won my lane, and then I went Sanjin after Battle Fury. And it made the game really hard. My Eternal Envy Troll Warlord, I think he didn't get the chance to watch the video I made on the game that I played with you, because he went Midas Sanjin on Troll Warlord.
I mean, I've done that.
Midas like Sanjin?
No, not Midas, but Sanjin. The Midas is like whatever to me. Like, I don't give a shit, to be honest. That's just envy.
So
that's why I mean, like with carries being hard. Like if you make the wrong item choice, like the game is just over. It feels like it's over at least.
So the reason why I brought up Eternal Envy, this was like the perfect segue, and I want to know, at least maybe everyone else here wants to know, is it looks like you have a new team for the upcoming Beyond the Summit. Do you want to shed a tiny bit of light, as much as you're willing to give us, on exactly what happened with like For Fun and everything?
My heart is racing right now, dude.
Woo! We got a 50 times one. Another bonus.
Boom!
I love how pretty it is.
Ignition, and it's good. It's very good.
Sure. I mean, I left that team the same time Fear did. Like, I wanted to take a break. So we've been playing. We played for a really long time. It didn't really, like, nothing was really happening. Nothing really working out. There was a little bit of personality clash. Like, nothing too bad, but I just knew that after that amount of time, I wanted to leave, and I wanted to play offlane, more importantly. And then, time went on. They replaced Fear. They tried to play with 1437 for some reason, but like he's an SEA, so like he had like 200 ping, and he just didn't show up to one of their matches one day, and they asked me to play 5, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll stand in. And then they're like, can you just play 5 for us? And I was like, sure, but like I told them that I don't want to scrim, and like, this is like a temporary thing. I don't want to be 5. I don't want to play for them for like forever. that was pretty much how it worked. I didn't really feel bad like leaving the team, and I didn't know that it was the BTS tournament. Like it was announced like a couple days before the what is it, the Realms Collide tournament ended, or ended for us at least.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is not really want to be in a position, not really be on a team, and then you just win the tournament.
I mean, sure. I mean, I wanted to play like pro Dota.
Of course,
I didn't find 5 that hard. I wasn't really expecting to win, but like, I don't know. It was, for me, it was really casual. I didn't really play. We didn't scrim, probably because of me. And yeah, like, I just didn't want to scrim. Like, you know, I didn't want to be like on that team. So I told them like, I'll stand in for you, but like, I don't want to do like any import, pretty much.
Okay, so my question now would be, what about the new team? Give us some highlights, man. Are you guys scrimming and stuff?
Yeah, we're trying to, but there's not really anyone scrimming right now. They're either playing in tournaments or they're just generally like taking a break or busy.
Or they're emo because they just got eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah, or they're emo.
Okay, so I think everyone who's come on has kind of give us the same thing, and I agree that like the lack of lands, like the whole online tournaments over and over has been a bit of a grind. So what are you looking forward to the most out of next year, where they talk about the DPC coming back, Moo? Are you hoping to go back to lands? Or are you just excited to have something Valve actually takes part in, or?
Yeah, I mean, lands would be great. Like, no doubt in that. But I was more excited in the, like, hopefully the abolishing of the month-long qualifiers. Play, like, 2 matches every day or some shit at some awkward-ass time. And then, you know, you can't do anything else with your day when that happens. I was excited more for, like, the standard, like, league system, where you play, you know, twice a week at a set time, and you know beforehand, and, like, it gives you, you know, a reason to practice and a reason to be consistent, rather than just like, all right, 1 week, 50 games, go. Like, I don't think that's like fair for a lot of teams. Like, what if you're not at your highest in that week? Like, you know, 1 week you know the meta and you're dumpstering, you're ahead, and the next week, like, you know, now you're behind. It's really weird. Like, I think consistency is not something that is like ingrained in Dota. I would like it to be.
It is very difficult to be consistent in Dota, for sure. You do not see teams excel like, you know, Team Secret obviously did. They won like 47 out of 50 matches or something like that. Then there was like, you know, Team Newbie, maybe how long ago? 3 years ago or something. They went on a 27 win streak, I think, or something like that. But like, you really don't see these competitive teams going on like super long win streaks all the time or anything like that. Because like, it really is difficult to be consistent in competitive Dota. Because like, you know, especially when you're on your hot streaks and everything, you have a lot of people watching you and like trying to dismantle your ideas and your strategies and like your map movements, and you know, they just put everything into beating you basically, and eventually someone's gonna figure you out. Eventually.
Yeah, what I feel like in Dota is that staying on top of your game, like what it takes to be like the best version of yourself every single game, is like so grueling. It's so exhausting. It feels like it's possible to do it, you know, in small bursts here and there, whether or not that's just a few scrims a day or whether or not that's like a major every 2 months or whatever. But to do it for like a month straight in a league, that's, I think what you're saying is, it doesn't seem realistic at all. And I think that my biggest issue with this year has been that. And one of the biggest things that always turned me away from Dota, like in a competitive aspect, is how hard is it to just know I have a game, like you said, every Wednesday, Saturday at 8 p.m. It's like,
it's a lot better.
Like, how hard is it to just know that? You know, like,
that's why it helps with motivation and like practice and everything. Like building fans, like, you know, I have a match, you know, I play every Wednesday or whatever. Like, watch our team, rather than just like, oh, we're gonna be playing every day for the next week.
Find me. It's 2 p.m. on Tuesday, 6 p.m. on Friday.
And then we're not gonna play for a month. it's so.
And then
it's
we have
so
3
garbage.
best-of-3s on the same day. Make sure
Yeah.
you catch them all.
Oh, hey, on Saturday we play in the loser bracket, and then we might play the best-of-5 finals afterwards. Could play 7 games of Dota.
Dude, it's so grueling on your psyche. Like for me, it's like the lack of being able to prepare yourself. Like you said, it's a motivational problem. Like if you know you have games on specific days, like you're just like, I'm ready to scrim, I'm ready to prepare for this specific team on this specific day. And the structure, I think, is severely lacking this year more than most. And would you say your entire career this is the worst quality of life year for competitive Dota, or has there been a worse one for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is the worst, like, comp Dota has been, because there's no lands. So, like, I think they're really, really milking these online tournaments. And I have, like, month-long qualifiers and stuff. It's weird.
I think literally everyone is getting burnout from it that is competing. Like,
I don't know, like, if I was practicing and, like, taking it, like, giving it my all, yeah, I mean, like, playing this tournament that's literally a month long is a lot. Like, you have to play every day.
yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
Which is what we were doing on 4 Zoomers, and I definitely got a bit burnt out, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I did too. That's why I wanted to take a break, and like that's why I didn't want to practice anymore and stuff. Because like it's just, I don't know, like you can't practice every day and like play a competitive match every day. Like physically, I could do it. Mentally, like my brain is tired.
Yeah.
Like, let me take a break, you know, because it's not like we're moving our bodies or anything. It's just exhausting mentally, and like you don't realize it till the end of the day, and you're like, wow, I literally can't do anything but watch TV at the moment. Like,
something for me is like it really does. It can be very tiring for me to like speak with other people a lot, and like on 4 Zoomers, it literally would like we would just when we started practice, we would just sit on Discord together for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, just nonstop, just like constantly talking about random shit. But like by the end of it, I'm just like, fuck, man, I want to do anything but play more Dota right now. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I know that feeling, dude. Being social is incredibly exhausting. I think most Dota players are introverts at heart. So that was one part about teams where like I was never up to snuff as a teammate. Like a lot of teams, I think it's really important that you have that like personal time together where you're like talking between games, talking after games, and I'm like, guys, I just want to go lay down and take like a 10-minute nap or some shit between these 2 games because like I'm just exhausted. But those parts those are parts of the team atmosphere I think are pretty important.
I think that's mostly solved. I don't really know if we're getting off topic or anything right now.
We don't even have a topic.
But, I think that's mostly solved when you have a team house and like you're able to interact face to face with people and actually like just be able to like kind of be friends and teammates and everything. But like I don't know. At least for me. I mean, I've told you this before, BSJ. Like, the reason I want your camera on is because, like, it allows me to actually interact with you and, like, see your facial expressions and, like, the things that you're trying to convey a lot easier. But, like, when you're just sitting on Discord and, like, you have no face or anything and just, like, listening to each other's voices for hours on end, I don't know. It gets very exhausting for me.
When you hear that, Moo, he wants to see our faces, man.
I do.
Specifically us.
Yeah. So
I always want to see your face, Moo. If there was a way that I could see like your webcam whenever I clicked on your hero in Dota, I would enable that option.
Okay, so
wow.
Now that we can stop, fanboying over Moo here, what I wanted to ask was we talked about coming in a new patch. At least I'm bored. Some people are bored. You said you're playing another game, Moo. What is the game you were playing that you so desperately wanted to ditch the podcast for?
I wasn't ditching the podcast. I was saving and quitting, man. Playing Bannerlord.
Bannerlord.
I've seen you do a lot of that game lately.
What is that game? I've never even heard of it.
It's like a action strategy game. And,
would I like it, Moo? Tell me right now.
I don't know. Maybe you would.
How is it? Is it a new game or is it old?
No, it's not a new game. It's
Okay.
definitely older. I mean, it's not like that old, but it is like an older style of game. It's way more like not holding your hand, do whatever you want, like RPG game.
Would you have like would you say you have a consistent type of game you normally play outside of Dota, or do you kind of just play whatever you feel like?
I play a lot of strategy. Like that's probably my favorite genre.
Were you like a Civ and a Age of the Empires kind of guy, or?
I never played Civ, but I played Total War and like StarCraft and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was always told to play Civ, but I just never really gave it a shot. I've been told to play a lot of games, and I really like. I do not dabble in non-Dota related games very frequently. I really don't, and I feel like I should, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've talked to you about this, Monkeys. I don't play enough other games. I feel like I've been trying to branch out a little bit. I play like poker here and there. I think Hearthstone Battlegrounds is super fun, and I even played Call of Duty, the zombie game, the new one that came out. I thought that was pretty fun. But like, I don't know about you. Like you said, when you're done with Dota, the last thing you want to do is play Dota. It's like the last thing I want to do when I'm done with Dota is like play another video game sometimes. I'm just like exhausted, man. All my mental energy. The funny thing is, Moo, I don't know how you feel, but I love strategy games too, but I always feel like they require like a similar part of the brain as Dota. So when I get done with my Dota day, I usually have very little capacity to think critically when I play those kind of games.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess I'm just a bigger nerd than you or something.
Are you just trying to say you're smarter than me, Moo, or what?
I wouldn't say that. I'm not always good at these games. I just find them interesting. I can play other games after Dota, like, no problem usually. Unless it's a game where I have to read a lot. I don't really want to do that.
Read,
honestly, I think it depends on my win-loss record. If I have like a good win-loss record when I'm ending stream, I'm usually like more energetic and happier to like go do other things. But if I have like 0-7 for the day, I'm just like, yeah, I just want to fuck off and not deal with anybody or anything right now. So.
It's hard to explain that, especially to my girlfriend when I like get off and she's like, "Why are you in such a bad mood?" I'm like, "I lost almost all my games today," and then sometimes I'm just hyperactive, and she's like, "What's up with you?" And I'm like, "I won all my games today."
Dude, I went 1-4 today, which isn't even like that bad, but like for some reason it just got to me tonight, and I just like literally after I played Battle Cup, I was just like, you know, I'm done. I was gonna stream until the podcast, but I don't want to put myself through this shit anymore, so I'm just done.
Knowing when to be done with Dota is probably the most important quality of life thing I've realized as like a streamer or just a player at all, is just like queuing those extra few games. You can go off the fucking deep end, man.
You really can, man. I've lost so much MMR from playing too many pubs.
Lil Nick said you were emo in their Battle Cup, by the way. He's firing shots here.
I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't really in the mood to talk because I had bad pubs, and then I just didn't want to talk. So I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have gotten me for Battle Cup. I don't know what to tell you.
Do you have these feelings, Moo, or are you kind of just the level-headed guy that we would?
I think I'm too apathetic to pubs to care whether I win or lose at this point.
How did you achieve this Zen state?
I don't know. I just years of disappointment.
Yep, that is pretty much what it takes.
I played a pub with Jaren. He was super emo, and I was like, "Why are you emo, Jaren?" He's like, "My carry players all kept throwing, and then our carry player threw in that match by having no boots until 15 minutes."
Yeah,
and it was rough.
But then you just move on, because what can you do?
Okay, guys.
Pretty much.
So this is how I want to wrap up the podcast. This is how I want to finish this off. So, as many or little details as you want, give me your worst game of this week. This is venting session of Dota 101 here. Worst game of pub this week.
The whole week. That's a long time.
Like, if I ask you, like, what's the worst game you've played recently, what's the first one that comes to mind and why?
Probably the game I played with Jaren, to be honest.
Damn, tell us what happened. How did carry through?
That was a really disappointing game, I'm not gonna lie.
Not because of Jaren, because there's just a lot of disappointment in that game.
You gotta give us details. Like, what was the carry hero? What did he do?
All right, we had a troll warlord as a carry. He
Always
didn't buy
troll
He didn't buy boots. He went like a naked battle fury or something. But then he literally never was able to hit creeps because the enemy carry was getting. I forget what their carry even was. It was a lifestealer, I think. Yeah, their lifestealer was like running around the map, even though Moo and I like absolutely dumpstered him. We killed him twice in lane as a Dark Willow Mars. We like killed the Dirge or something.
Went Bloodstone first.
Yes.
Any other item?
And it just like basically they had an active mid hero and an active carry, and we had a
Zeus with a Bloodstone and a Battlefield
non-active carry. So
Zeus game, he's playing against like Marana Tinker. Like it's a good Zeus game. He won his lane, then he went Bloodstone. I was like, oh well, we lost.
He just didn't get an Ags for the Tinker, so he could never get on top of the Tinker. Then like we're just me and the other supporter just melting into Tinker rockets while Moo's just saying, "Hey, let's go fight, guys! I'm hitting my buttons," and no one else would hit their buttons, and then we would just slightly lose our fucking minds, going, "Wish we had some button pressers." And then, here we are.
It's true.
How did that feel to get off your chest a little bit? Did that feel good, guys? I think Monkeys feels a little bit better.
I am so sad that I had to relive that shit. Like, fuck!
Yeah.
Damn!
Is the Mask of Madness before Boots Troll Warlord a good thing, BSJ, or what?
I haven't gotten to try that hot new build yet, but it sounds like the Mask of Madness gives you move speed when you activate it.
Yeah, true. But you also can't cast your alt or your spells or change to ranged or melee.
That's true. That's true. I'll have to think about that one to myself a little bit. But I want to tell you my game real quick. This was from yesterday. Okay. I was off lane against an Enchantress, and I had a 4-position Grimstroke who leveled his E at the rune, walked in with his E on against Enchantress. Enchantress goes, okay, and just W's him. And it gets removed, and then he feeds First Blood. And I'm like, okay, good start to the lane, good start to the lane. So then we're trying to gank this Troll Warlord, who's at absolute free farm. There's actually a Troll Warlord in this game, holy shit, but he's on the other team. We're trying to gank him, and my Disruptor calls for a smoke, so he wards the high ground. We're Radiant, we're trying to gank him in his own safe lane. He wards the high ground and Qs him, and then it's level 1 fucking Glimpse at 10 minutes into the game.
Ooh.
And and he just walks away. I was like, okay, how's my mid laner doing? And I look mid and my tower's gone and he's down by two levels. And I'm like, what happened to this game, guys? What happened to this game?
The amount of games that just end because, your mid laner just happened to lose by like a level and a half. Your carry just wasn't really feeling it that day. So, he had an emotional breakdown by level 4. And then like your position 4 is just sapping all of your XP because he thinks he's doing a good job. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to block a pull. The amount of games that are lost like that by 10 minutes. Whew. Yeah, the number's too high, BSJ.
Yeah, I wish that I had the pure amount of experience that Moo had with this disappointment that he talks about, because I feel like I'm not handling the disappointment very well. Even the last few days, I actually think I've handled it a bit better the last like 2 or 3 days. I've just been laughing it off. People say I'm getting like some Joker vibes, like I'm giving them the, like, my life. But like, it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like people, especially lately, have been disappointing. But I'm an optimist, other than, Monkeys is a cynic. What can you do? But the new patch is going to come out, and everything's going to be better, right, Moo?
Yeah. No. You gotta lower your expectations, BSJ.
That's true. BSJ, we even talked about this like a week or 2 ago.
We did.
That's what I did. It's been working out. If you think they're low enough, you gotta go even lower. Because it's not low enough.
Okay. So this is like a limbo thing. Like I gotta do the limbo. I gotta go as low as I can go.
You'll be happier when you lower your expectations for your pubbers.
See, I feel like I reached that point, Moo, and then the Zoomers gave me hope again, and now I have to reach that point.
Yeah, if I start screaming and playing competitive, I always lose my pubs.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Because my expectations get too high, and then I get mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be a shape. Who is Canis Vulpus?
What? Dude, Boris asked me that same question. Boris literally asked me if I'm Canis Vulpus. I'm like,
are you Canis Vulpus?
Why am I getting asked if I'm Canis Vulpus? He's literally a mid laner. What can I do about that, man? I don't even, like, you know, like, what am I supposed to do with this info? That would be the perfect disguise. That would be the perfect disguise. I have been playing a little bit of mid in my pubs recently, but it's only because I got, like, ranked 21s and 3s on my team every game or some shit, so I'm stuck playing mid. Or, okay, so if you have a rank 200 guy on your team, this is for both of you, and he plays the role you want to play, but you know on any other role he's going to grief the game, what do you let him have it?
I haven't had that happen a lot.
I feel like that happens a pretty decent amount to me.
It definitely does not happen too frequently to me nowadays. I mean, in general, I don't really see anyone killing their items. So there was one game that I think...
I don't mean griefing the game as in, like, he's going to destroy his items and run down mid. I'm saying that he's actually so bad at every other role that if you don't give him his role, he's going to, like, literally grief the game even if he doesn't try to. Sorry,
players that just mentally give up. Yeah. They're not playing their role.
Exactly.
But they're not fully griefing, but they're, like, playing with one hand.
They're playing with their brain off.
Maybe they're tabbed out on Facebook. You know, you don't know.
Oh my god.
Monkeys, I didn't interrupt you, but...
I know so many people who randomly do that. Tab into Facebook while they're in the Dota game. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
That happens. More than you would think.
It does happen.
Have you guys ever done that?
No, I don't have a Facebook.
I don't
What about, like, Twitter, hitting some ladies up in the DMs or something, Moo?
Yeah, every day.
Moo exclusively uses Twitter to slide into women's DMs.
It's true.
Don't give away too many of his secrets. Somebody asked us about roll queue, by the way. Can I announce it for the 100 millionth time that at 7,500 MMR roll queue doesn't exist? So.
Oh, is someone telling you to queue roll queue?
Yeah, they're like, why don't just do roll queue? I get that question so often.
That's always a good one.
Yeah. My favorite is, like, when the guy I have on my team is, like, going to the wrong part of the map and feeding over and over again. Somebody says, why don't you just tell him what to do? That's my favorite. That one's also good. Just ask for control. Yeah, ask him, you know, let me control your hero, and you can take a break. I've been in games with you, Moo. You do a better job than I of basically spoon-feeding the game plan to the team, so I respect you for that one. You keep a good level composure about it. You're like, guys, we should go here, and then we should do this. I remember one game where our Lich griefed so hard, you're like, hey, buddy, can you just walk in and die for me? Because that's about your most useful thing you could do right now. And my chat said that was toxic, and I said, that's actually the most useful thing Lich could do right now. Yeah, sorry, what were you going to say, Moo? I kind of interrupted you there.
It is toxic, but yeah, that is the most relevant thing I can say without flaming him directly. I mean, I don't know what MMR, like, rank 200 is or whatever, because, like, top like, I don't know, 20 or even like maybe 30 is so inflated that it's kind of hard to tell. But I assume that rank 200 still get roll queue games. So, like, when you throw them in to, like, an 8K average game, they get a little flustered, probably play an uncomfortable role they didn't queue for.
Yeah, I think it is a problem like that. There's, like, that barrier where you have the 7,300 players that have the, like, 80% of their games are roll queue games, and then the other 20% are in our games where, like, they're forced to not play mid and they're playing with players that are higher MMR than them. I think that is actually causing a lot of issues in pubs, but I don't really know what to do about it.
There's not really a fix. There's also players that specifically don't queue roll queue, and then they get thrown into the higher games. I think it uses them first. If you're wondering why there's, like, some random rank 500 player in, like, your game of all top 100s, it's because that guy didn't queue roll queue, and it just threw him in there.
I see. That makes sense, actually.
I don't even get in the top 100 games.
Aren't you still? Are you still top 100 monkeys, or are you like a little bit below right now?
No. I've lost like 8 of my last 9 games or something. So.
Yeah, I started queuing Smurf, and people are flaming me, and I'm like, I just don't want to care about whether I win or lose. And right now, I'm not emotionally strong enough to do that on my main, so I'll just queue my Smurf and pick offlane Viper.
The thing is, literally when I wake up, I know if I'm gonna win or lose pubs that day based on like how I'm feeling like mentally. And I woke up this morning and like I think I got maybe like 5 hours of sleep, which is pretty decent for me. But I woke up and I was just like, yeah, today's just gonna suck. I am not ready to do anything today.
Time to boot up the stream.
And then I turned on the stream and guess what? I went 1-4, and then I just got emo, and I was like, oh well. Guess I should have just listened to myself and not played Dota today.
Hey,
but,
you're smiling here now, buddy. So everything's better now, or what?
I mean, I
had the same. I didn't stream today for that.
How often have you been streaming recently, Moo?
Pretty much every day.
Moo's been streaming a shit ton. You've been killing it lately.
I think I had like 150 hours November.
Wow. I think that might be more than me because I was gone for the summit or whatever, and I was in Arizona. So make sure you guys check them out. This is meant to help you too, Moo, even though you're kind of doing us a favor by coming on. So
yeah,
that's true. Twitch.tv/MooDota2.
He doesn't just use his socials for the DMs, guys. He uses his socials as well to make sure you know when he's streaming and stuff. Am I right, Moo, or what?
No, I stopped updating Twitter on my stream. It felt like spam.
Damn it, Moo!
I know. I feel too, but I don't even use Twitter for anything else. So it's like, I don't know. I may as well use it for something, I guess.
So I just spam my Discord now if I want to spam something.
That's a good place to spam.
How many people do you have in your Discord, Moo?
Like active chatters, like 3 people in there, like 100.
Okay, yeah. For me, I feel like I have a lot more people in my Discord than people that have been active. But recently, since I started doing, like Patreon content on my Discord, that helped a lot. I actually have people talking in my Discord again, so it's kind of a weird thing as a streamer where it's like,
what are you selling?
Videos, like educational content on Patreon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Videos, huh?
Yeah. Educational content, it can be anything. It can be Dota, it can be sex toys, it can be anything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are those all like?
Are you interested in signing up for my Patreon, Moo? There's some products just for you, maybe.
I mean, it depends. Like, do I get both? Like, do I get Dota tips and other tips?
Yeah, I was gonna say and other tips.
Or is it like separate? Like, does one cost more?
I think for you, we could probably give you a package deal.
Ooh, I like package deals.
I think this is the first time we've ever gotten hypersexual on the podcast. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Moo, you make it so hard to like have a... Sorry, whatever. Okay, so we'll talk later about that, Moo. I'll make sure you get all the packages you possibly could ever want from.
You should sell.
Go ahead.
You should sell BSJ condoms, like banana shaped.
The problem is like I don't know how I would price them because all of my viewers, they just have such massive penises that I don't actually know if it would be like a good investment based on the raw material we would have to manufacture to.
They also have a lot of sex, so like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we'd have to get them like jumbo packages, and that's just a lot of production line stuff, you know.
Yeah. True.
Looks like the chat is confirming that all these things we have said about them, sex having massive penises, are all very true. So, in case anyone out there was skeptical about that, it has been confirmed. So, at least 12 times a day I'm seeing in there. Yep. Marketed at Costco. We could do a partnership with Costco. They do have everything come in large packages.
Make sure to send this specific podcast episode to Costco. Just to really get the idea in there.
Moo, would you think do you have the connections for this? Like second place TI, does that get you these type of connections?
What, like sex company connections? No,
to
not
Costco.
quite.
To Costco.
Oh, no. A little bit too big for me.
I see. But not for my viewers.
No.
Okay.
Of course not.
Just making sure. Just making sure. Well, this might be one of the weirdest endings to a podcast in the history of Dota podcasts, maybe just podcasts in general, but any final words before you tune out for us, Moo? Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Oh, I have to leave first?
Oh, no. We're just not going to see you again. I'm stuck with monkeys next time.
Final words, that's all.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have named your podcast Banana Slam Jaren if you didn't want to talk to monkeys all the time. Seems like a bad thing to do.
Well, no, there's all these, like, I'm just jokingly flaming my boy monkeys, you know? Obviously, I enjoy talking to them, man.
Seems like a bad business move.
But the positive is, we didn't name it, like, Monkeys Forever or anything. If I end up getting too tired of them, I could definitely find another Jaren out there somewhere.
You probably could. I have seen at least 2 other Jarens in my life.
Do you think they would be good candidates for the podcast?
I don't really know either one of them, so I would not be able to recommend
Moo, do you know any Jarens?
No, I only know one Jaren. It's this Jaren.
He is the Jaren.
He only knows the most important Jaren.
So, did you pick him specifically because you're the banana man and he's a monkey?
Yep, that's the only reason.
So a lot of my original names for the podcast were very sexual. I couldn't come up with a way to make them not sound sexual.
And Banana Slamming Jaren isn't
Banana Slam Jaren is
It's pretty good.
It is not at all sexual, monkeys, unless you try to make it that way, you pervert.
Totally no sexual innuendos there.
Absolutely zero. So I honestly usually have like a clear segue to like the end of the podcast, and I asked for some final words, and Moo just stirred up some shit. So I guess that's just been the story of this podcast. So how about you, monkeys? Do you have any final words, Jaren, if I may say?
No, not really. Just happy to be here as always. Hope everyone made it through this incredibly interesting topic of discussion.
Surprisingly, we usually slowly lose viewers over the course of the podcast, and we've been sitting at a constant 1,200. So
it's because Moo's been bringing up the banana condoms. I mean, yeah, that's content, baby.
We've got some serious products we have to consider releasing into the market. So thanks for coming on, Moo. We appreciate it, buddy.
No one wants to hear a bunch of old men complain about their pubs. They want the real content.
That's true.
We gotta watch out for Moo overtaking our market here, monkeys. So thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Even though I flamed you earlier, I'm still sorry for that, buddy. And I'll see you soon, buddy. Okay.
Love you,
I get over it.
Love you, BSJ.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.